We all the way live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Veve Bros, the entertainment channel where we talk about all things Veve past, present, and future. And today we're switching it up a little bit. We're going to do Feature Fridays, our first one where we interview somebody from a project called Chunk. That being said, I'm Grandison Crawford.
I'm Tony. Get the on me.
You know what it is. Cue the intro. Yes, indeed. We have our guests ready and waiting on the sidelines. But before we get into it, definitely subscribe to the channel, and show some love in the comments after we get off this stream. It's going to be a quick interview, but we are very excited to introduce Danny from Chunk Studios. Danny, welcome.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for having me. That was impressive. First take, first try, live intro.
What we do, baby?
I mean, you know, we are professionals, so we do what we can. How you doing?
Doing good. I'm doing good.
It's awesome, man.
To be here.
So we got a lot of people who don't know anything about Chunk and don't know anything about you. What is Chunk, and what's your involvement in that project?
Yeah, I mean, so I guess I'll just quickly start a little bit about me, my background, kind of how it all fits in. So pretty much my career started being a YouTuber. Oddly enough, back on the YouTube platform, so I know how hard those intros are, the amount of takes it sometimes takes. But yeah, I was just doing that, playing Minecraft, posting it, turned into my profession, where I was getting paid to essentially play Minecraft. And over the years, accumulated over 600,000 subscribers, and 200 million views, I believe. So for a good chunk of my time, that was what I was doing. No pun intended there. But yeah, from there, I always had the passion and loved creating things and kind of having people hop on and playing on it. So I wanted to get more involved in creating things outside of just videos. So that's really where the team behind Chunk started. So we started a little over 6 years ago, our first Minecraft server called PokeFind. Today, it has over 1.5 million unique users. And yeah, so we essentially just introduced Pokemon into Minecraft without needing any mods whatsoever. And so that became pretty popular. And it just ties in perfectly with what us and the Chunk team are building now here at Chunk. So that's just a quick little history lesson for me, I guess.
That's so crazy. And so you introduced Pokemon into Minecraft. Like, what even made you think you could do that?
Well, during that time, it was when Pokemon Go first came out. So PokeFind initially started as a Pokemon Go companion app. So you could see where Pokemon were spawning and evolution calculators and this stuff. And so we're the #1 companion app at the time. I think we had over 18 million users at that time. Yeah. And at the time, Niantic, who are the developers of Pokemon Go, they were really just kind of dropping the ball, having so many issues, not doing updates or anything. So it was all right, what are we going to do? We can't just have this completely depend on Pokemon Go. And so we're all right, I have a lot of Minecraft experience and this might be possible. When we created PokeFind, we had no idea if it was possible. We're let's try this and see if it works and see if we can actually develop it and make it happen. And it's just, it just ended up working out perfectly. And so, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much how we got to creating it. And our devs just pulled some magic wand out and made it all happen. And the whole Minecraft community kind of caught on and really enjoyed it. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. I think your mic is a little something. Somebody's mic.
Mine?
Yeah. It's all good.
Mine. Oh, I hear him. Maybe it's probably on.
No, you're good. You're good now.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask a real quick question because I know Minecraft, but I never played Minecraft. And I just kind of are you guys creating games on Minecraft? That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. So I think the best way to really picture it is think of Minecraft as essentially a game engine. It's a platform. It's not even a game anymore. It's essentially a platform, similar to Roblox or even Unreal Engine. And what developers can do is they can take this and build upon it. So it's it sets the foundation, and then developers can really kind of use that open source material and create whatever you want. In our case, it was PokeFind, what we're doing with Chunk. People have created mini games Hunger Games was a huge thing when I was doing YouTube, and you really can create anything. So it's essentially just like a game engine. It's not just like a game that's made out of blocks, really. It's pretty amazing what people can create.
And full disclosure, for the Veve fam, I'm definitely I definitely am an owner of Chunks.
Appreciate it.
You know, I got my whale status on Discord, and and I've been very excited because I'm gonna show the map real quick.
Yeah, let's see the project.
Yeah, they have over 10,000 chunks that you dropped, and the chunks themselves are the land.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
And yeah, what are we looking at right now, Danny? So what is this?
So this is our world, and you can like zoom in and out of it. You can kind of see what people have been creating and such. And so we pretty much
wall.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know who did that.
That's huge.
But yeah, I mean, these are essentially what people have been creating. And so we've created this custom world, and we then divide it into 10,000 chunks. We call them chunks, and each chunk is 128 by 128 blocks. And so when you mint a chunk passport, you gain access to a particular chunk that, you know, is essentially yours. And so what you see in this world is, you know, all the different variety of chunks and just people playing and creating and building on their chunks and such. So,
and people got random ones, right? Like you could get legendary. I'm looking at a legendary one.
Yeah, that's a legendary one right there. Yeah.
So now, are people building this land, or does this land already comes with like the buildings and stuff?
There's a preset you know, land in itself. So like if you look at the map right now, you kind of see like regular like forest areas and grass. Like that would be like a normal land, and then you can see structures built on top of it, and that's what people have been building. And then, you know, us as the developers, we've kind of built out like a lot of tools in game. So that you have access to easily kind of like play with your friends, invite them to your party, things like that.
So one of the things that recently got announced on Veve was the Veve verse, and it was talking about how you would be able to like build and sell your own NFTs in that marketplace and things. And one of the things that I love about Chunk is every person who owns a chunk basically has access to a number of resources. So if you have gold on your land, or if you have water, there's some people who don't have water on their land. You can sell that or trade it. Is it selling right now, or is it just trading?
It's essentially trading. It's peer-to-peer trading. So we've built within the game, we built our own trading system where it's super safe to kind of trade amongst one another. And so people are, you know, constantly just trading resources amongst one another. They're trading animals. It could be a wide variety of things. So it's pretty like much like a bartering peer-to-peer system.
Okay. And the chunks themselves are basically like access keys. I know that, you know, some of the people in the Veve fam are also bat cow holders. So it'd be the equivalent of like a bat cow holder access key to other things like the chunkies, right? Do you want to talk a little bit about the chunkies?
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty much putting all of our Pokemon experience and building PokeFind over the last 6 years and creating our own IP called Chunkies. So, you know, it's always been a goal of ours as a team is to kind of build our own brand and kind of like our own vision of what Pokemon could be like. And so that's really what we're doing with Chunkies. So we have a wide variety of creatures that you'll be able to catch in the wild within this world itself. And when you catch them, they're yours, and you can battle with them. You can level them up, evolve them. And so we have a few fun mechanics in play that definitely differentiate us from Pokemon, but also like PokeFind or Pokemon fans, when they come over, they can, you know, kind of see some similarities and be pretty familiar with it. So yeah, we're really excited for that. That's like been our big focus over these last couple of months in terms of a development perspective. And internally, we're aiming to release a beta by the end of this year. But yeah, I mean, we're making that hard push. So
now, go ahead, Tony.
No, I was going to ask because so earlier you said that you guys can trade resources, because I was trying to figure out, okay, why would I trade resources? Is that because certain chunkies that you have actually need those resources to get stronger?
There
or-
will be a mechanic similar to what you mentioned in play. But more importantly, it's just, certain chunks within the world, depending where it is, has a
Mhm.
certain resource. So like say, if you have a chunk that's in the desert, you're going to have an abundant amount of sand, which then can be used to create glass.
Mhm.
And someone who doesn't have a desert chunk might have like tons of dirt, so they might do like a peer-to-peer exchange of, hey, I'll give you 10 dirt for 16 sand or whatever it might be. So it's just like if you have a lack of a certain resource that you want, you can kind of trade with another person, because every single chunk in itself is purely unique.
Now,
Now when chunkies does come out, what biome and where your chunk itself is located is definitely going to have a play with what chunkies spawn there.
mhm.
With our spawning algorithm, it takes the biomes into account. So there'll certainly be that thing as well.
And also, like, kind of to piggyback on what you were saying, you need different resources, to build different things. And I've seen, like, if you look what I'm looking at right now, somebody built a base in the ocean, I
Yeah.
guess. And it's just like a little place that they probably, mine for ore. They have infinite lava things. And like all I did for the first 3 days when I went in was die. Zombies and skeletons murked me, and then I went to a different chunk, because you have like a central hub, and then you can go to the chunks that you own. You can invite friends to the chunks you own, and I went to a chunk that was all water and just drowned 3 times. So don't be like me, but there are a lot of people doing a bunch of incredible stuff. And Chunk doesn't just have like individual players joining. You all have partners in Chunk, right? Like,
Yeah, we have a few projects that have been coming on board. Like some that you can kind of already see in the world and explore. It's like Nifty Nuggets. We just did an event with Metashima, and so we have a wide variety. Monsterland, to name a few. Kaiju Kings is there. Llamaverse.
mhm.
So we have a decent amount. Alpaca the Brass and such. So a lot of big NFT projects have their own chunk in our world, and we'll plan to do some events. So far, we've done like scavenger events on Nifty Nuggets and Metashima's chunk. So, it's a
Yeah.
fun little way to kind of get other communities involved and get our own community to have something new to play.
And one thing that's real cool about it is you guys have already started setting up quests, and you as a chunk or owner can set up your own quests. So if somebody wanted to, say, buy a few chunks and then make a video game kind of out of their chunk land, they can do that to some extent.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely the big vision. I mean, just to kind of add more context to that, we've built internally a quest system that's very robust. We've used it on PokeFind for the last 2-3 years and created well over like 200-300 quests utilizing it. But what our goal is right now and what we're working towards is opening up that quest system for normal users who have zero coding knowledge
Mhm.
to essentially just open up a UI in game, press buttons, and be able to kind of put these buttons in a sequence to where it's a playable quest. So how we really kind of vision it playing out is when we release chunkies and kind of this similar Pokemon type of experience, users will then be able to utilize this quest system and create an experience on their chunk. So,
Yeah.
say you wanted to recreate like a Pokemon gym from your favorite Pokemon game or your own like Pokemon like storyline, you can utilize a quest system to build that experience on your chunk, build out the structures if you want. And then people will be able to come to your chunk and play through this quest with their chunkies. So they'll battle the NPCs that you set up and battle it, try to get through, utilizing and fighting with their chunkies. So, it's kind of like tying back to what Minecraft is when I explain, like, think of it as a platform. We really want to be building out features and tools to where it turns us from being a game to a platform where users are able to kind of create content, almost like an infinite amount of content for other users to experience. And all we're doing is just supplying the tools for that to be done.
That's dope. Also, I wanted to ask, do you guys have like a play to earn aspect to it? at all?
No. And especially with the recent Minecraft news that kind of came out over the summer, Minecraft, or Mojang, I should say, which is the parent company of Minecraft, they're pretty strict on certain things, and play to earn is certainly going to be one of those things that they're strict on, just because they want to avoid any like digital asset having a real life value associated to it. And so that's like one thing that they're going to be pretty strict on. So, we're obviously going to fully comply, and we've been complying with them over the last 6 years and don't intend to change that. So yeah, it won't have your kind of traditional play to earn, but we definitely have some ideas to kind of play into a factor. I mean, we'll have a currency in game that will be utilized, to like unlock skins for your chunkies and such. And we have some unique ways that we think will fully comply and work really well. I mean, like, just to give an example, if like, say a chunky spawned on your chunk and another player came and caught that chunky, but it was on your land, you'll essentially be rewarded like this currency that you can use to unlock skins, for example. So,
Ooh.
Yeah, we have some ideas up our sleeves.
I didn't know that. He's dropping alpha here.
Yeah. There's a little bit of alpha, but yeah, I mean that's certainly kind of what we have in mind. And like me personally, coming from like a gamer perspective, to me that sounds way more fun and rewarding versus just a simple token.
But yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that one of the reasons I even got involved, and again, none of this is financial advice. Obviously, do your own research, all of those things. But one of the reasons I got involved was because you and the team came from not only a gamer background, but also a entertainment background in terms of like the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And things. So I was very like, all right, well, this team not only has experience managing major communities in the platform that they're on, but they're passionate about more than just the money return. Like that is almost secondary, right?
Yeah.
To what's going on. Because we talked about you guys actually in our Veve rental video, where we were talking about rentals, because I know some talk, and there's a couple questions in the comments we'll get to, but there was some talk about how maybe you don't play with your chunk that much, but that the chunkies themselves could be rented by people because of the Genesis chunks being so kind of rare and special.
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, thanks for saying that about us, because it's like you said, like we didn't, we're coming from this because we want to build something that's fun. Like that's what we enjoy. That's what I personally enjoy doing, and seeing other people hop on and play it and having fun. So it's definitely nice to kind of hear you say it out loud. Definitely appreciate the compliment on that. And yeah, I mean, that's always been our focus. Like me personally, I've been involved in crypto since 2017. So I've been in the space for a while, and I've always been familiar with NFTs. And what was always exciting about NFTs was that digital ownership. And we just want to utilize it and kind of show the gaming community how, it's not only just about if it goes up in value or not, or having these crazy prices. It's about you having fun with a digital asset and owning it, and having that ability to own it, to sell it if you get tired. If you want to move on to another game, you can sell it. Because like, we see it firsthand with PokeFind and all these big companies. I mean, probably viewers can relate. Like if you played Fortnite, spent $200 on skins, it's like you're never going to see that back. It's only an entertainment value associated to it. It's you don't own it. You buy it, but you don't own it. Unlike if you go to the store and buy a pack of Pokemon cards, you own those cards. You have no one can take that away from you. Where for us, we could simply shut down a server, or any gaming company could shut down a server, and what you bought disappears. And with NFTs, that completely goes away. And that's what was exciting for us, and how we can make a game that's fun and has this digital asset that you actually own. So, that's really kind of what motivated us and why we're taking this leap. And it's really cool to think of like building this Pokemon-like brand and have it be an NFT, and all the things you can do with it, like giving commercial rights to the owners of those chunkies and things like that. So it's exciting for us. It's definitely pretty exciting.
That's awesome. Now, in terms of like the business side, I know there are a lot of projects, and one of the reasons why I'm so kind of like bullish on Veve is Veve has drops weekly, has them all the time. And all markets are down right now, but that makes it so Veve can at almost any point in time create liquid. And a lot of these independent projects or smaller projects don't have that. Is there, like, the money for this project, is it just off of the sales of the chunkies?
No. So it's pretty much, I mean, we're taking it like we built PokeFind. You're essentially building a free-to-play game, and you have to figure out how to monetize it.
Right.
So, the first step was obviously coming out with the chunk passports. That's why the sale's always been ongoing. We always said it from the very beginning, no matter what, it's always going to be going. And, I think it's been doing pretty well considering everything. And we'll just kind of keep pushing forward. But yeah, you definitely have to keep innovating as a game and have a monetization plan. Any company needs to have that. So I kind of already hinted at it. Skins is obviously a big thing. We're going to have chunkies, but skins sell, in any freemium game. Every single free game has skins. And it's just a cool way to personalize it. People like changing the appearance, and you essentially charge for those skins. Now,
will those skins be NFTs?
No. So we have to do like a hybrid approach. Like, that's one of the challenges with this is like when you want to build big, because one of our partners is Sunday. I don't know if you saw that announcement, but he has over 20 million subscribers.
Oh,
and
I did see that.
Yeah, and every single video he does is over 1 million views, and he posts daily. And we've worked with him a lot. He was a big contributor to the success of PokeFind, and we want to replicate that here. But the thing is when you do something like that, you have a huge volume. And so, like, everything can't just be an NFT. It's just not to throw numbers out. PokeFind for I think we have over 100 million Pokemon caught. There's no way you can have a collection of 100 million.
No,
and so it's just the numbers don't make sense. So you have to be creative of like a hybrid approach to where, some are going to be off chain, but then when you do special ones like the airdrop, those are NFTs. They're special. They're Genesis. It's a locked quantity. But the ones that spawn in the wild, you can't have it be a locked quantity, because then once that quantity disappears, players aren't going to come on and play. So we have to kind of be smart and really kind of just take it not just from a pure like NFT formula, but also like from a gaming formula and making a game that's fun that people want to play. Because we also want to tap into the Minecraft scene. Like, we don't want to just tap into like the NFT scene. We want Minecraft players to come on and play. And you can't just throw at their face of like, hey, you need to set up this wallet, or hey, you need to own an NFT. It's like, no, you got to have them. Let them enjoy. Let them get familiar with the product. And once they're tied into it, they're more familiar, they're having fun. It's a lot easier to kind of open up and see like, hey, we have this Genesis chunky. It's a little bit more exclusive. It's special. You can get it. It's an NFT. You can buy it from someone on the open marketplace or whatever it might be. And kids, they learn so fast. They'll learn in a heartbeat if they really want to. You just have to have them be passionate about it. So that's really kind of like our goal and intention with it.
Well, and also too, and Tony, I'll let you get your question in, but because of your success with PokeFind and your old YouTube channel, you guys aren't beholden to some VCs or something like that, and so you can really focus on gamifying versus getting returns from everyone, which I think is a problem in the community.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're just focusing on developing. I mean, you've been following the project, so you probably can kind of speak on it. Is the last 2-3 months, it's just been constant development, always being active. Like, we've done one thing that's always important to me is doing a tweet every single day. We've done a tweet from the moment we came public. We've done a tweet every single day because we want people to know, like, hey, we're around. Like, yeah, there can be this dumb news of FTX or whatever it might be, but like, we're still here. We're not chilling or anything or waiting for the market to go up. It's like, no, we're here building a product, and we intend to deliver on that product, and we think it's going to be a success with time. I mean, sometimes you have to have a little bit of patience, but then we also have plans in place to where it doesn't fully depend on selling chunk passports, for example. Like, we can have skins that are centralized and people buy these skins. Minecraft players, they can come on, they can buy points, they can use those points to buy skins and a wide variety of cosmetics. So we have plans, and we're kind of putting our experience to that.
What were you gonna ask, Tony? Sorry.
So I wanted to get into some of these questions. One of our guys, Kryptoni, had a question. He said, "Does NFT tech play a part in this platform, and will there be a marketplace? Also, will this be interoperable? And can you bring other NFTs to the space?"
Yeah, I mean, so the NFT tech's certainly in play. That's our chunk passport. The mint's still going live on our website. You can mint one for 0.03 ETH. I think it's like around $50 or so. And you get a piece of land, and then with it, you're going to unlock more things down the road, like our chunkies that we've been talking about. And, marketplace, we don't have any internal marketplace. It's just, OpenSea, the popular marketplaces like that. You can exchange and such. And what's cool that we've done, and I don't know if you guys want to show it, but with our OpenSea is when you click on your chunk passport, actually we've built like this custom 3D viewer so you can see what your chunk looks like. If you build on it, we occasionally do updates so that the model on OpenSea itself reflects and shows what you've built on your chunk, so people can kind of see that on the marketplace. And then about 2 weeks ago, we just released our augmented reality app, so you can actually like load up your chunk in the real world and kind of like walk around, scale it and such. So we have that as well. So there's a lot of features by just owning a chunk passport that you unlock and have access to.
Now, with the chunkies, the Genesis chunkies, like what do you have to do? Will you tell the viewers kind of what you have to do to get those airdrops? And what the difference between the Genesis chunkies versus the regular chunkies are?
Yeah, for sure. Actually, if you wouldn't mind, if you could pull up our Twitter and check our latest tweet about showing like Lunar, if you don't mind.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, the first airdrop that we'll be doing, it's gonna be maybe towards the end of this year or January. We haven't put a date yet, but essentially, if you own for every 3 chunk passports that you own, you'll be airdropped a Lunar chunky. So this is going to be our first Genesis exclusive chunky. Every single one is unique. There's like a few things that kind of make it unique. It's stat genes, its personality, and its gender. So those 3 combinations make it unique and have an impact in the gameplay, especially from a competitive level. There's our boy Lunar. So that's what you'll be airdropped. That's how he looks like in game within the chunk world. So yeah, that's going to be the first airdrop. What was the second question? Sorry.
The
Genesis.
What are the benefits? Like,
I was it the difference Genesis and regular, right? Yeah. So the Genesis is essentially going to be, like the kind of the first of its kind. It's going to be, those are going to be NFTs. It's going to have a locked quantity. They're going to have a few benefits in game just from like competitive level, like stats and stuff like that. Also, one of the perks is going to be any skin that comes out for that particular chunky. If you own the Genesis chunky NFT, you have those skins unlocked automatically for you. And so then just like a regular chunky that spawns in the wild and is caught, that's going to be off chain. So that's going to be handled through our servers just so we can scale. So like when someone like Sunday does a video or another YouTuber, there's no issues there. And so those are pretty much your regular gaming experience. You catch them in the wild, you can play with them and all of that. It's not like set to this fixed quantity or an NFT in that regard. Only the Genesis will be in that case.
Now I think that, I don't know if you mentioned it, but one of the things that I was also interested in was the breeding element.
Are
we still doing that?
Yeah, it won't be available in the beta, but we're definitely going to have like breeding in Pokemon in general is such a big important factor, especially like competitive players, because competitive players are essentially trying to breed to get like the best Pokemon possible, to have like the best genes. Or in Pokemon, it's called IVs. We call them genes. So you want like the highest possible genes so that this way, when you're battling, it does more damage, or it has more HP, or has more defense, whatever it might be. It depends on the chunky. And so breeding will certainly be something we introduce. We have a few ideas in play of how we're going to go about it. Needing a Genesis chunky, at least one of them to be one of the parents, is certainly something we are heavily discussing. So yeah, I mean, that's definitely going to be a game mechanic the specifics is still kind of like being discussed internally, but it won't be available in beta.
Okay, that's cool. And we're a few minutes from wrapping up, but want to talk about you as a collector, but also this is a fight system. This is the beginnings of the fight system.
Yeah, that's the UI. So that's how you'll be able to, you would press essentially that fighting button. You'll have your 4 moves that you select. A little teaser and kind of what's like new to our mechanic is if you see those 3 electric bolts, that's essentially your chunky stamina. So whatever you do in that particular round, it's going to consume stamina. So like some moves might consume 2 stamina, some might consume 1, some might consume 3. But it essentially kind of opens up this avenue for you to do like combinations. So like you can do a move that costs 1 stamina followed up with another move that costs 2 stamina just to kind of consume your 3 stamina for that round. Where your opponent just might use 1 heavy attacking move that consumes 3 stamina. So that's one of the new mechanics that we're adding that really kind of differentiate us from being like a copy paste Pokemon type of game.
There you go. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, and that makes it that much more different because you want to take what you've been doing and then also apply new elements to it.
Yeah, it applies a new strategy. It's going to be interesting to see how like competitive players kind of take that into account, what kind of combinations they do. So that's just because one thing we wanted to avoid is since we have like this PokeFind and all this experience, it would be easy for us to just copy and paste it and add a new skin on top of it and say, hey, this is Chunky's, but kind of feels cheap. It kind of feels like a ripoff. So, we basically wanted to add a spin to it to where like Pokemon lovers, they come to it and they're like, oh, this isn't just an exact copy and paste. Like this is actually interesting. I want to kind of learn more about it and experience it. Otherwise, they're just going to go back to playing Pokemon because they're Pokemon lovers. You're just going to stick to what you're familiar with and what you really like. So we had to add like a twist to it. So that's one of them. We also have something we're going to be releasing info on this month called chemistry. So like team chemistry. So that's going to boost your stats of your whole party of Chunkies. So like people are going to have to be creative of how they have their 6 Chunkies for battle laid out. So yeah, you bring essentially 6 Chunkies into battle, and depending on their type, their personalities, it's going to have a role in the chemistry. So you can get up to like 5 stars of chemistry. And if you get it, it's going to have a big stat boost on your whole party. So it's going to be a creative way of, having people just come up with cool team formations. They don't just use 6, because sometimes what happens is people just use like 6 of the strongest Pokemon, and it's like, it gets dull. But if you have a chemistry to where you can't just use 6 of the strongest Chunkies, you have to be pretty creative of how like someone can use less or weaker Chunkies, but it be a full chem team. And it will end up being stronger than the best Chunkies altogether because those chemistry boosts have a role in it. So that's a new mechanic. But it's like we're trying to be like smart how we add these mechanics to where it's anyone can come in and just play super casual and don't even have to pay attention to it and just play through and have fun. Just like Pokemon, you can just hop on it, play it, have fun, kind of play through the story mode. But then there's that competitive layer to where there's a lot of like little things that people pay attention to that do have an impact at a competitive level. So we want to make sure we add those mechanics in play. And so that's kind of just where our PokeFind experience comes into play.
That's awesome. Well, we're wrapping up the video. Tony, get the Omi. Did you have any more questions or comments?
No. Well, I seen in the background you had some comic books. We big on the Veve.
I got some
about that. What's that? What's going on back there?
Yeah, I've been collecting them. I mean, that's probably my pride and joy. Oh wait, that's reverse. Okay, that's my pride and joy. That's the Incredible Hulk 181, first appearance of Wolverine, signed by Stan Lee. So that's my pride and joy, baby.
We still waiting for that, baby. We need that. We still waiting for that on Veve, bro.
Yeah, I saw the advertise. I'm like, yeah, sweet. But I have a few Amazing Spider-Man 300s here. I think that came out. On Veve, So I have that signed by Stan Lee, Todd McClure, and such.
We gotta get you. We gotta get you that one on Veve. We gotta get you on Veve, baby.
Yeah, my partner has it, so kind of jealous.
Oh, nice.
That's good.
Yeah, it's hard to get it live.
So we have Kryptonian here, and this will be the last one before we go. He said, I went to OpenSea to get prices but couldn't find it. What's the best way for them to get involved in the project if they want to? Not financial advice.
Yeah, I mean, on OpenSea, make sure you search for Chunk Passport, but our mint is still live, so you can get one for 0.03. It's a fresh new chunk, and probably in a better area than what's available below floor price on OpenSea. So go to our website, chunkstudio.io, and you'll see the mint button, and it's super easy. Gas is cheap as well. We made the contract very efficient, and you can mint as many as you want. So if you mint one, you get one. If you mint 2 or 3, what's cool that we did with our mint is that all 2 or 3 of those are going to be next to each other. They're going to be neighboring in game. So if you batch mint, you have all the chunks that are aligned with one another in game.
And you get a chance to get a legendary. So not financial advice, but definitely go check them out if you're interested. That being said, Danny, thank you so much for taking the time.
I appreciate it. Those 30 minutes went by, dude.
Dude, I had hella fun with you, man. Thank you for coming on. We'll definitely have you come back sometime later down the line for like updates.
More than happy.
And man, I appreciate you so much. That being said, if you haven't already liked the video, subscribe to the channel to support Veve Bros. We've been Veve Bros. I'm Grandison Crawford.
Tony, get the Omi.
And this is Danny from Chunk Studios. We will see you when we're looking at you. Peace.
Good night.
Take care.
Hell yeah, dude.
That was fun.